Becoming a superhero takes superhuman effort, but some actors have an extra secret power. They are bilingual.
Aprendí español en México cuando tuve 13 años.
In this video, you will meet 9 iconic movie heroes who speak another language, maybe even a few. And I have some awesome ones right here. You will hear all the different languages that they speak, including some shockers that you would never guess.
This is called another language.
And if you're struggling to learn a language yourself, well, you won't want to miss this. There are some language learning golden nuggets inside. One of these actors actually took things to extreme length and stole another clever trick from Johnny Depp.
You must be Wolverine.
What?
Wolverine's body count is rather frightening, but his language count is what really impresses me. See, in X-Men comics, he speaks Japanese, Russian, Arabic, and all of these amazing languages, and yet Hugh Jackman never has to do it in the show. So can he speak any of these languages in real life? We'll find out. My name is Olly Richards. I'm a linguist and author, hoping to add superhero to my resume soon too, because I do a little bit of flying myself. So I really got curious about what's going on behind the scenes with all of these languages that these superheroes speak. Like, did you know that Hugh Jackman can do this?
Bienvenidos in Neverland with Maria.
Hola a todos en la Ciudad de México. Zendaya y yo estamos muy contentos de visitarlos muy pronto.
Wolverine, c'est terminé ou ça continue?
Oui, c'est fini.
C'est fini. Pardon, pour moi.
Je suis absolument ravi d'être parmi vous ce soir.
Now that's pretty good, but forget French and Spanish. He once told the press, I think I'm turning Japanese. In real life, he is actually working on his Japanese, and he really loves Japan. He's been pushing for a Japanese Wolverine movie. In fact, he's also working on his French and Spanish, but he's very humble about it. He admits that he's not the best. See if you can spot the language secret right here.
I am terrible. I don't speak. Okay, now let's not give up. Los espero.
Los espero. En todos los cines.
In December.
Okay.
Gracias. And you just have to edit all the little bits. Perfecto.
Perseverance, you see, will get you everywhere. He even lost his Aussie accent for Wolverine thanks to Johnny Depp.
He told me a little trick. Actually, I stole it from Johnny Depp. I heard Johnny Depp do an interview that he has a sentence that he will say that contains every vowel or consonant change for the new accent, and he'll say it before a take. How many times have you asked Sam whether or not his daughter's learning disorder was caused by a genetic abnormality?
What a great trick, and I'm sure you could do this with any language. One last thing. Sings in Filipino. What a cool guy. And I heard that the deadliest woman in the galaxy can also sing.
Aquí con mi matecito en el set de Avengers. Oh, Gamora speaks Spanish? No lo sabía.
Okay, that's got to be backstage. Zoe Saldana played Gamora in Guardians of the Galaxy, and if you ask me, she sounds very natural with Spanish.
Bebo mate, me gusta. Pero no fue hasta que yo me encontré con una maquillista que hasta este día.
Porque somos los consumidores número 1 en el país.
Well, in case you didn't know, Zoe, turns out, has a Dominican father and a Puerto Rican mother, and she speaks fluent Spanish because, well, she was raised bilingual, lucky thing. She once said, the language that was sung to me, that I received love in, was Spanish.
Tú te sientes caribeña, ¿verdad? Para que quede, yo quiero que te lo diga al público.
Caribeña, señores, miren. Nazario es más puertorriqueño que otra cosa. Mi familia viene de Puerto Rico. Los Saldaños son de Santo Domingo. Tengo una sobrina que es mitad jamaiquina. Nene, por favor. Mi mejor amigo de Cayman Islands. Soy caribe. O sea, el calipso lo bailo como te bailo la salsa, la rumba y el merengue. Cojámoslo suave. Todo el mundo come arroz.
But that is not all. She learned French growing up, which she said helps her understand Portuguese. That's right, Portuguese. And then guess who she married?
My husband's Italian. My children are 6 and 4. They talk to me like this. Scusami. Non vai a salutarlo?
Beautiful. Her Italian is lovely. Are you counting all these languages, by the way? Because someone coming up is going to surprise the hell out of you with a language you've never even heard of. But first, I want to tell you about something very cool that's happening here at Story Learning. We are running a sale on our really popular Conversations program. Now, what is Conversations? Well, Conversations is a program that's designed to help you learn to understand native speakers when they are speaking quickly And we do this through the power of story, of course, because story learning. Now, the premise of Conversations is that there is a couple who leaves the big city and moves out to the countryside, and a whole soap opera of crazy events unfolds. And we use this as the vehicle to help you improve your listening skills, because over the course of 20 chapters, the story unfolds. But we write it in a very, very particular way so that the language is not too easy, so it's not boring textbook stuff. Also, it's not too hard like watching Netflix. It's just in that sweet spot that helps you enjoy this story whilst also learning to pick up the details that you get from the natural language. It's one of our most popular courses, and it is 50% off until Tuesday, March the 18th at 11:59 p.m. That's midnight. So by close of play on Tuesday, March the 18th. So depending on when you see this, it might be over, but it is currently live right now. And you can click the link in the description to find out more. Conversations available in 8 languages. And again, for the first time ever, you can get it for 50% off during our Conversations super sale. It will end on Tuesday, March the 18th at 11:59. Link in the description below. Now, where were we?
My parents taught me to hone my senses on focus on just what I wanted to see. Without your helmet, you're getting everything.
This actor is so interesting. When he was in school, he was passionate about ancient languages and Egyptology. Then he grows up and gets to be Superman, but doesn't speak Kryptonian even once in the movies, which is very disappointing. So is Henry Cavill just no good at languages?
Ciao Roby, ciao Leo, come stai?
Come stai, Henry? Just wait, this is nothing.
Adesso 4 mesi, non lo so, forse 5-6 anni fa.
I was dating an Italian girl and I lived with their family for a bit. They spoke very little Italian, but the brother spoke some English. And very little English, their brother spoke some English, and he taught me a little bit, and I just kind of learned by hand gestures what everything meant.
Well, there you go. Date an Italian and learn from the hand gestures. I heard that he speaks French too.
Je t'aime. C'est tout. I speak a little bit of French. I speak more Italian than French, but again, just a little bit, and a few words in German. And whichever country I go to, I try and learn how to order a beer.
Hey, why not? I can order a whiskey in more than one language, let me tell you. Now, before I reveal his ultimate language skill, let's count how many he speaks in movies.
Io non sono né una capra, né sorella tua. Quindi, chiama le mani addosso.
Ich dachte, mit der originalen 2-Liter-Maschine waren sie untermotorisiert. Aber das ist eine gute Verbesserung.
T'inquiète pas, ma chérie. Je vais bien.
And the guy isn't wasting his talent for accents either.
Just a little sailing holiday. Just the two of us.
But this next fact about him will amaze you. Did you know this?
It always felt like you were going, oh God, here comes the word, don't mess it up.
Hi, my name is Henry Cavill, and I was born on the island of Jersey, which is a British Crown dependency in the Channel Islands off the coast of France.
Actually, the Jersey accent comes from a language called Géré, which is a combination of French and English.
Wow, Superman is really from the Channel Islands. This day just keeps getting more and more interesting. Ready for his hottest language skill of all? Well, here we go.
Creo que lo más importante para cualquiera de esto es que cualquier persona que necesite ponerse la capa.
Sé que atraviesas un momento difícil.
Whoa, so funny thing is, languages aren't even the hardest thing in Henry's mind. Switching English accents is. But if you're more of an Iron Man fan, well, please don't ever take any language learning advice from a certain Robert Downey Jr.
I would have spoken French, but I was raised by wolves. I am an animal. I'm an ugly American, all right? They don't teach French in jail.
You heard the man. Stay out of jail if you want to learn French. Now, if you watch the movie, you will know that Wonder Woman speaks Arabic. But what about Gal Gadot? Well, we'll get to that. But first, remember this scene with the language challenge?
A mí no me parece tan impresionante.
Tú lo eres para mí. Tus ojos son tan suaves como tu sonrisa.
Archie, niriyanchin kaswa, nisya yashima.
Ihuanyaha, gunya.
Alois de Socrates Hellenis tirapsaka.
Spanish, Chinese, ancient Greek, not bad. She won, of course. She's Wonder Woman, of course she's going to win. And her most underrated skill is she knows countless languages.
Feliz Dia de las Madres. Entra a ver Mujer Maravilla en Cinépolis. Now everything is great, and my daughter's school had done an amazing job. But
in real life, Gal speaks a rather unusual language for a Hollywood star. Her first language isn't English at all. She is Israeli, so her native tongue is...
משפחות יקרות, אני לא יכולה לדמיין מה אתם עוברים. הברזתי, לא הספקתי לצעוד לצערי הגדול, ועכשיו כזה יש לי בילדאפ טוב של התרגשות.
That is Hebrew, isn't it gorgeous? And here's something cool. Hebrew and Arabic are closely related, so Arabic might actually be easier for her to pick up than for most of us. And she loves other cultures, so good for her.
15 Minuten Fragen von Leute und unsere Film.
Look at Jennifer Lawrence's face. What is happening?
I don't know what he's doing.
This is called another language.
Well, luckily for Jennifer, she's a monolingual superhero, so there won't be any of this.
Das ist nicht möglich.
Translation, excuse me, this is not easy. Now, in the Marvel universe, Peter Quill, aka Star-Lord, doesn't need to learn any other languages because, get this, he has a translator implant in his neck. I will learn my languages the hard way, thank you very much. But Chris Pratt has no implants that I know of, and he actually studied German in high school for 3 years and still remembers quite a bit. Even better, he loves the language and he's practicing hard and trying to level up.
How much German do you speak?
I do okay. I know, you want to hear a joke in German? Dieter und sein Opa Peter sitzen am Berg. Und Opa Peter sagt, Dieter, siehst du alle diese Häuser? Ich habe alle diese Häuser mit meinen Haaren gebaut. Aber jetzt heißt It's Peter die Hausbau. Nein. Und siehst du die Kirche? Ich habe die Kirche mit meinen Haaren gebaut. Heißt jetzt Peter die Kirchebauer? Nein, aber du...
Yeah, I can't let him finish that sentence on this family-friendly channel, but he's definitely got the German skills. By the way, if you ever dreamed of speaking multiple languages like a Marvel hero, there's a PDF I've created. It's a lot of fun, this PDF. You can download it completely free. It's called My Top 10 Language Tips from Marvel Heroes. Kind of does what it says on the tin, this one. It's got all the secrets for easier language learning that you'll hear in this video all in one place. Plus a few extra ones that didn't make it into the video that I think you're really going to like. It's really easy to get. You can just scan the QR code on the screen with your phone, or you can look for the link in the description. That's going to take you to my free story learning kit. You sign up for that, and then in the bonus section you will get the Marvel Heroes PDF. These actors work really hard at learning foreign lines, so whatever tricks they use to get there fast must be worth it. And who knows, maybe one or two of these tricks are perfect for you, whatever language you are learning. So click the link in the description, grab your free PDF right now, and start trying out these superhero strategies. Now, this is a bit naughty of me, but I'm going to sneak in someone who's not on the list. You'll understand why when you hear him. Recognize this guy?
It's not just an accent, it was dialect we spoke. So the words were different. It was, in a sense, a foreign language.
Professor X is a powerful telepath who can tap into your brain and learn any language that you know in minutes, and then teach it to someone else a few minutes later. Skills, right? But I bet you don't know what language Patrick Stewart speaks at home.
I was sitting by Arsenal last evening. My mother and father were off, because they'd heard that my old aunt Susanna were laid up in bed with a cough.
Oh, come on, you do know this. It's English. It's called the West Riding dialect, and it's from my side of the pond. Isn't it cool? Best part is, this is his real accent. The posh one you hear in the movies is all an act.
I don't want to get my ass kicked again. I just want to know why you have to go.
My bodyguard is here.
Your bodyguard?
Daredevil is a superhero whose methods are a little bit questionable, and for some reason they don't make him show off his language skills in the movie, which is a real shame when you see what Ben Affleck can actually do.
Inmediatamente van a pensar, todo esto es mierda, es una película de mierda, no lo creo, y destruyo completamente. Entonces tenía que dar Michael Jordan mi respeto.
Ben Affleck? How about that Spanish? Well, in case you didn't know this, Affleck was a child actor, and when he was 13, he was on a kids show called Voyage of the Mimi.
Sir, could you please show me where the Mimi is docked?
And this show was actually filmed in Mexico, so he ended up spending a year traveling around Mexico with his mum and his brother. Maybe 13 is an excellent age to pick up Spanish, I don't know, but either way, it's pretty damn good, and he's pretty confident. He never says no to an interview in Spanish.
Siempre supe que tuve acento mejor porque aprendí español en México cuando tuve 13 años.
But how is he keeping up with Spanish in the US?
Tengo muchos amigos latinos y tengo oportunidades a practicar mi español. Es la alegría de mi vida.
Well, there you go. Spanish friends will definitely do it. And I hear his daughter is learning Spanish at school, so he took extra classes just to keep up with her. Now, what about the guy with the hammer.
Hola, ¿cómo estás? You know, ¿cómo estás, mate?
Australian Spanish? Thor can do better. He speaks a made-up language in Guardians of the Galaxy. Yep, Asgardian, which is basically Old Norse meets Shakespearean drama. But in real life, Chris Hemsworth has a language trick up his sleeve that nobody else on this list does. See if you recognize it.
Bike, Sajai.
Oh my God! You really can speak.
Okay. Siapa namamu?
Arif. I'm his wife. I'm Tiara.
Nama saya Chris.
And that was Indonesian, Bahasa Indonesia. Wait, well, why on earth would an Australian actor learn Indonesian? Well, come on, take a look on the map. Indonesia, it's pretty close to Australia, and the two countries have close ties. So Indonesian is taught in Australian schools. And apparently the Australian Army also teaches it. Kind of makes sense, right? But here's where things get even cooler. Chris loves Indonesia so much, he got married there, and the wifey is Spanish. So I hope he's practicing Spanish for her.
Hola, soy Chris Hemsworth y estoy aquí con Furiosa and...
Yeah, that needs a little bit of work, but it's a great start. Who's next? Ah yes, the one who very correctly said multiple languages are a superpower. Who can it be?
Hola, señora, mucho gusto. ¿En qué le puedo ayudar? Me llamo María Aldana, soy estudiante de Mérida. Váyase ahora.
In the Black Panther movies, Nakia speaks a long list of languages: Korean, Spanish, and Wakandan, and even this.
Tene. In Wilikshan. Wakachai kubine. Matakimi.
Wow, a cool Mayan language. By the way, Wakandan is really Xhosa. It's a South African language, and apparently she got Trevor Noah's whole family to help her out with that. They'd sent her voice notes of how to say her Xhosa lines.
By the way, your Xhosa was great.
Thank
By
you.
the way, like no. Lupita would call me and be like, "Hey, I really want to nail this," and I'd get the whole Xhosa contingent together. And like all of us were sitting there, like proud African grandparents. We're like, "Oh, Yambonu Lupita, Yambona."
Fascinating. And when you see what the actress can do in real life, you won't be at all surprised that she pulled it off so easily.
Un poco difícil aprender español. Tenía 16 años y me mudé a México sin mis papás y fui a una escuela para extranjeros.
So Lupita Nyong'o is fluent in Spanish and English. That Spanish name, Lupita, is a clue. She was born in Mexico, but she only lived there for 3 years, and she actually grew up in Kenya, where her family is from. And this means her native language is Swahili.
Swahili sanifu pia. Aya, sawa. Mina enda nyumbani, which means I go home.
But no, it's not her first language. She actually speaks 2 African languages, Swahili and Luo. Luo?
Per maradiera nitie eipachi gichuni. Ochakoregi kaka inenori iniwon.
Oh, I love that. A Luo storybook for kids about colorism and self-esteem. And she even wrote it in 3 languages, Luo, Swahili, and English.
I love languages, and I do speak 4 languages myself. I struggle through some, but I speak them.
Honestly, her parents really didn't give her a choice. She said, "My mother bullied me into it. She'd make me do my homework more than once." No wonder she's so good. And when she was a teenager, they sent her back to Mexico to study and immerse in Spanish. And now, well, she absolutely adores languages. So are there any tricks that we can steal from her?
My brain switched into survival mode. And that's the best way to learn a language, because you pick things up and you hold on to them for dear life.
For Lupita, it was all about survival. Well, I can't imagine any other superhero doing it better, but I just found someone who speaks a language that is rare in Hollywood.
Thing is, you don't have to. I'm with you to the end of the line, pal.
Bucky Barnes is Captain America's best friend who speaks Russian and Romanian, but how good is Sebastian Stan in real life?
Fuego. Dulce. La película. Papi chulo. That's right.
No, not that. The other language.
Ai grijă cu ea, e frumoasă foc, dar e puțin zăpăcită.
Da, la balcon. Aia mi-amintesc, parcă mă aduce imediat înapoi de unde eram, că mi-amintesc când eram copil, parcă. Cât mai multă atenție primești, cu cât mi se pare că oamenii se închid așa.
Seriously, how is an American this good at Romanian? Well, it turns out Sebastian Stan is Romanian, Occam's razor, right? But what's really impressive is that he lived most of his life in the US. So, how? Well, when he was 8, he and his mum left Romania for Austria, and when he was 14, they moved to the US.
Vă invit pe data de 27 aprilie
la ora 20:30.
Believe it or not, he was traumatized by being different in the US, and he used his fear to learn English and to fit in. He impersonated American kids with a New York accent and refused to speak Romanian even at home. Total method acting, but with languages. So what happened? Well, he went from literally crying in the shower every night to being a bilingual superhero. And for that, he is my winning choice. But don't you choose a winner just yet. None of these superheroes can match the language count of the supervillains, and you won't believe what they did to learn them. One actor even went to a Russian prison for the language, and it is all here in this fascinating video. Go and check it out.